Deltarune by Toby Fox, probably one of the most popular games on the internet right now. And even with it not being finished, a lot of theories have come up with it. Some theories being what most people would consider canon, and some being, well, driving in my car. Arguably not. But with the theory I propose will probably be one of the most interesting theories I don't think anybody's ever realized. And it all starts with a theory of us meeting an old friend. I feel like it's safe to clarify, I do not think this theory will be the best one out there. I highly doubt this will be the most likely solution to what is going to happen. But I want to throw one theory into the ring before everything becomes obsolete. So take this whole theory with a grain of salt. But now that I got that out of the way, let's at least think about why I even thought about this theory in the first place. So if you haven't played Deltarune or Undertale, spoilers. To first understand who exactly we're dealing with here, we gotta go back to Undertale. Our first introduction to our yellow-petaled flower, who while keeps the act up of being friendly, wanted to kill us for our soul because they have none. So essentially, a Karen. But before he gets the chance to kill us, we are saved by Goat Mama. Hell yeah. If you keep looking back during your adventure, you can see them following you around because they want to get your manager. Eventually, in the True Path Ascending, in the True Lab, we find out that Azrael was Flowey all along. Who's Azrael, you may be asking? Simply the dead son of the king and queen. If you want to pass this class, you might want to try and listen better.
But what about? But I wanna know what happened.
Eventually, you win after they go Super Saiyan by stealing everybody's souls. And yeah, you just basically sit there after that. Wait, is that Goku? Okay, actually onto the important stuff of this theory. To understand where the term friend inside me comes from, we gotta look at another theory called Woody Theory, which was born from the depths of whatever came from Toby Fox's mind when they made a song that, well... Two jokes with the same kind of genre in the same video. What am I doing? But this doesn't come from nowhere because it is confirmed that Toby Fox has said that Deltarune does end because he had a fever dream. And it was so big and amazing that he just had to make a game of it and like show it to the world. And even though the year doesn't exactly match when the movie was released, you'd still watch Toy Story 2 around like 2011. So yeah, Woody could have possibly appeared in Toby Fox's dream and he could be a part of it somehow. But the idea of Flowey coming into the fray, we gotta go back to chapter 4 on why that even exists. Did I just say exists? Like, I mean to say why. I meant to say what? In chapter 4, we get the idea that Asgore is going to be the next main boss and his shop would be the next fountain to exist that we need to close. And one of the things that why Woody's theory even comes into existence here is due to the fact that it is theorized that Asgore has a bunch of VHS tapes of when the Cowboy Show was still on. Oh wait, what's that? What's that? Oh, that's what the juicy stuff is, yeah! So yeah, we see flowers in the shop that kind of resemble Flowey. But then you may be asking, wait, hold on, so if they're two separate things, then why are they going to be the friends? Well, you see, that could also be a thing of taking a good note of not taking things too literally. Or at least, don't take things that are separate to not be related. This is what Fox was talking about. He literally made a joke out of us about the mic situation. But one thing that happened in Undertale is probably going to be one of the most interesting ideas here, because it really correlates to how they are a friend. Papyrus. You see, in Undertale it is described that Flowey does have a friendship with Papyrus that relates to how they are able to get everyone in the same room, in the True Path Ascending. So it's not really out of the question for them to try and trick more people into believing they're a good guy. I truly believe Deltarune is a case of where Toby Fox is able to actually do ideas he wanted to do in Undertale, but never had the time to because of time issues. Like Gerson, he was a peak boss fight, but I bet he was supposed to appear as a boss in Undertale, but he couldn't appear because it either didn't make it like sense or he just couldn't do it in time. Yeah, same case of why Asgore is being the next boss instead of some other character. It's is because it was an idea Toby Fox had originally for Undertale, but it never fit into the game, so he had to do something else. So same case could be for Flowey, an original idea for Undertale, but it never fit in, so he's putting it into Deltarune. I mean, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. I mean, it all makes sense. Why did nobody else think of this idea? But how would it go? I'm going to be talking about more fanficky stuff for this section because this is how I think it would go in the case of I'm actually being right. So if you don't like that kind of stuff, I guess click off. I mean, I'm not forcing you to be here. Starts off with Chris and Susie going into the dark world in the flower shop. Rousey suddenly gets appeared because that's the thing they do. They hear Asgore yelling in the distance and they hurry over trying to find where he's doing, why he's screaming. When we find Asgore, I just realize he's just laughing because, hey, we found Sheriff Pine, yeah, we find Sheriff Pine. And then there'll be some other thing like, hey, I'm Togor the Flowey, or something like that. And when it'd be boss time, it'd be where the secret version of Flowey like takes control of Pine with the vines. Kind of like how they did in the Path of ending. And I think this would be a Rousey only fight, like how Gersten was a Susie only fight, to teach Rousey that not all fights can end peacefully. This is still a Flowey we're talking about here. They're not going to change much even as a Darkener. And I think the super boss would utilize the purple soul mechanic. I know that's what people will thought Ram would have had, but I don't think that's going to be happening. But the reasoning why I think the purple soul mechanic would actually work well here is because like the little shoot up duck minigame thing. Like the things you see at like a shoot range. So yeah, I'll say beats this weird version of Pine. They beat Flowey. And yeah, that's totally the real canon ending for Chapter 5. Yeah, totally. Now, again, do I think this is going to actually happen? I really don't think so. The whole thing about Deltarune is that we don't really know what's going to happen with expectations, but we still get excited for it anyway because it's going to be peaked either way. Part of this era about Deltarune is why we have theories and why they are so enticing to learn in here. Because we get to experience what ravage ideas we have in our heads, but actually think, wait, hold on a second, this could actually make sense. Woody theory was crazy in the grand scheme of things, but it actually made sense in the heat of the moment. The idea though, like when Chapter 1 at the end, where Kara was actually Chris and we're going to be killing everyone in Chapter 1 again. It was crazy, but entirely possible was all we had. And I just want to throw one of my ideas into the ring because I want to at least enjoy the era of Deltarune where I'm actually a part of the community and stuff. And we can all just theorize together. And by logic, I have 100% accuracy rating on theories because I was right about Sans doing your mom. So by that logic, just because that was my first ever thing about Deltarune for the community, I am right about everything because I have 100% accuracy. But for real, thank you all for watching the theory I had. I just wanted to get out of the world before someone else stole the idea. But for real, thank you all. Hope you don't mind me continuing on for a bit. I'm just waiting for the 8-minute ad revenue.